There are thousands of software tools on the market. And because we spend over $100,000 per month, that's more than $1 million a year on tools at my 8-figure company, Passion.io, I asked my head of finance to list me the top 25 tools that we spend the most on and rank them highest to lowest. I haven't seen this list yet. So in this video, I'm reacting to each one live and telling you which are absolutely essential for us and which can be replaced by AI for a fraction of the cost. If you're scaling your 6 to 7 figure business to 8 figures, this will save you tens of thousands of dollars per month and let you make better decisions on what tools to use for your own tool stack. Let's get right into it. So here we got our spend of 2025, $1.1 million. And here's our spend for 2026, $1.2 million. That's $100,000 per month. And these here are spendings. Look at that, $400,000 all the way down to essentially nothing. These are 250 tools. Today we'll go through the top 25. If you want me to go through the rest of them as well, just leave a comment below. But let's get into top 25. Number 25, Cursor. So what is Cursor? It's a tool, a co-pilot for developers to make sure that the code is correct and they can build code much quicker. So that supercharges our developers to just build more code faster. $5,000 developers are so expensive. We spend 6 figures per month on developers. I think that's completely fine. It's a good deal. Number 24, Loop.Panel, $5,000. Okay, what is Loop.Panel or Loop.Panel? Loop.Panel is UX research, AI analysis, whatever that means. I can translate it to you. When you do your user interviews, you record them, but instead of Fathom, you use Loop.Panel. And it allows you to connect it much better if you have a product. It could be a software, it could also be a course, doesn't matter. The point is, if they, for example, say in minute 23, hey, this and this and that was really insightful, this was bad, this was good, you can just like quote that as a reel and then share that with your team on Slack and say, look, here's what the customer says. So instead of like you saying that we should make this better, I spoke with customers, you give them the reels of your customers saying exactly what you think and your team gets much more customer centric. I think that's a good investment. $5,000, that's about $400 a month. I bet we have a couple of seats on that for the product tech team. That makes total sense. Next one is Trustpilot. Interesting. You see here, drop from 8,000 to 5,600. Very likely we renegotiated that deal. If you are a customer of any of your software tools and you're spending north of $5,000, I would look into renegotiating terms every year because there is, in this case, almost a $3,000 saving. Trustpilot is definitely worth the money. It's a trust builder. We have it on our homepage, Passion.io. Here, Trustpilot, and then people can look at it and see, wow, people are really happy with the product. Very good. So that creates trust. Trust is invaluable. For that reason, I think it's a good investment. Next, Figma. Yes, Figma can be $6,000. And it's increased by $1,000. Why? Because we have more seats. More people are using Figma and then also FigJam. You now have to have 2 licensees. They're building out the product further. I personally love Figma. I even use it for presentations. I use it for designs. I use it for a lot of things. As an IC, a CEO, so individual contributor CEO, we're also going to the details to really show and not just tell. I use Figma and FigJams and boards in workshops. I'm building a web page right now, tuning the web page. I work straight in Figma with the designer to ask for edit access because copy and design is very important. Yeah, so Figma, they're doing a great job, great company. Let's talk a bit about AI. I don't think it will go anywhere. I don't think AI will be a big problem. It will rather supercharge them. And then they will find a way on how to connect designs straight to building the whole thing. And because design becomes for building it, they are in a prime location to blow up even more and to integrate services as Replit or Cursor into it. So in the future, you will be able to make your designs a reality with the click of a button. And that's going to be epic. Soon. That is surprising, $6,000, because I switched the whole company to Google Meet 3 years ago. Why are we spending so much on Zoom? Come on. Why did we switch to Google Meet? We're paying Zoom and we're paying Google Suite, which is Google Docs, Google Calendar, Gmail, and all of that stuff for every single team member. And in it included was Google Meet. So why would I pay double for Zoom if I can work with Google Meet? Then people were like, yeah, but Zoom has more features. Then we tested it. Google Meet improved a ton over the last years. And I would say as it's in the browser, and it's even better than Zoom. It doesn't have some things, and I think that's why we're still using it, the sales team. There's this feature where before the call starts, you can play a video or an image. That's something that Google Meet doesn't have. And you can do webinars, and you can make sure that not everyone sees you and all of that. So that is something that Zoom can do, which Google Meet cannot. And for that reason, we're likely still using it. I am surprised that we have so many licensees on Zoom, but but apparently it is what it is. 20 Slack, $7,000, 7.5. What's that? 600 a month. I think that's worth the money. Slack is our main tool for communication in the team. I'm on it several hours a day. It's one of the apps on my home screen that I use all the time. And for our team of close to 100 people, I think that's a good price. Please don't raise prices. Now we're going to number 19. Bamboo HR, $8,000. Bamboo HR organizes the team. So freelance contracts, W-2s, that's your employee contract, career progressions, pay, vacation days, sick days. It's an HR software to organize the team. You have to have one. Maybe there could be a different one that would do the job at a lower price. I feel Bamboo hasn't improved a ton over the last years, but that's what it is. The thing that excites me about Bamboo HR is the hiring onboarding one. You can have a funnel of interviewees where I am, let's say, in the end, and then you have first, second, third, fourth interview. And that is all documented really, really well and all goes together with the whole HR topics. That's really good. I would stick with it because switching costs are too high, too much effort to change. That right now, it's not a priority. Number 18, holy shit, what's that going to be? We're going up from 5,600 to 8,200. That must be a big one. Anthropic, Claude, holy crap. That's surprising. I always thought Claude is $20. 8,300 divided by 12 is 691 divided by $20 is 34. 34 people are using Claude right now in the company or will use it because it goes up to 8,000. Arguably with Opus 4.5, Claude is just the best copywriter. If you use it in marketing, in the product, in comms with the customer, it's just the best tool for copywriting. $8,000 is pricey. I would ask if we can do it with half the amount of seats to drive it down to $4,000. Apparently, we're even going up. But yeah, that feels a lot. But also it's important. So maybe there's a way around it. I don't know. Number 17. Notion Labs. I have such a love-hate relationship with Notion. Why? Because it's this thing where we store all the documents and there's so many people in the company who are evangelists. They love Notion. Everything is in there. But if you didn't click with Notion yet, use it for the first time, or I've used it a couple of times, but it's not like this thing that you use all the time. It's just overwhelming. I don't get it. I don't know how to use it. It feels very patchworky. We also have tables in there, like Google Sheets, and you have databases that you can integrate there. That's all cool, but then I like Airtable more. I don't know. That's a matter of taste. Some people in the company just love Notion. We have a lot of stuff in Notion. People do client portals in Notion. There's people that likely would react to this and say like, Notion is the best thing ever. You should spend more. I just hasn't clicked with me yet. So the time to value, the time to retention for me that I'm like, yeah, Notion's the thing, hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's just me. I know some people in the company are crazy about Notion. So I let them do their thing. Not a priority, will stay as is. It's not going up that much, right? Number 16, Expo. What the f is Expo? Expo software, SaaS, Expo Dev. Oh, everything you need to build apps. Yeah, we're a software company. We help people to build apps. Yes, not know what Expo is. Expo is a React Native framework. Don't bother. React is one of the languages that we use that just makes app development easier. We will not be able to get around this. It's a ton of libraries to make app development easier. Number 15, Atlassian. What's Atlassian? That's Jira, that is Confluence. All these tools that the developers use to do tickets, to work with each other. Everyone is remote, so it's their workflow tool. Jira is such a thing. You pay $10 in the beginning to start, and then once you have, I think, a handful of developers, all of a sudden it gets crazy pricey. And you're at $10,000 a year. But you don't get out of this anymore. You're like, we are locked in. The stock price of Atlassian has decreased recently a ton. Maybe there will be AI tools soon with vibe coding and whatnot, where this gets all better. I don't see it yet for bigger teams that organize themselves. Some use Asana, some use other tools that are used for project management. I think this is specifically for making developers' lives easier. For that reason, we're sticking with it. Next one, 14, Bill.com. All the freelancers, all the invoices that we get, we handle through Bill.com. Won't go into that. I think it's fine. There are fees to send, to invoice, to process invoices. The finance team will kill me if I get rid of Bill.com. Number 13, Ramp.com. All right, Ramp.com is a credit card provider where you can spin off credit cards. If I want to sign up for a service, let's say I want to sign up for something for $199 a month. I like it, I want to test it. I just create a new credit card with one click. I put that information there. And then if you don't need it anymore, you can just deactivate the credit card. That's one thing. The other thing is, if you have a corporate credit card that has a really high limit and there's one card, you need to give the details out to the team, but you don't want that because it's a credit card. They could do buy champagne and go to the club every single day and let's see if we can find it out, and you don't want to have credit card information ghosting around in the company, then you just can spend off for even $19 a month new credit cards. You just use that and you have much better security on your cards and on your spend, and you see what you're spending your money on. I think Ramp.com is good. The biggest fucking downside of Ramp.com is I don't get any points. Yes, there's some cash back, but if you're in the MX program or whatnot and you get all these points to then fly first class or business class, get none of that. I fly Echo. True. Yep, but the team is happy. Number 12, Browser Stack. Another dev tool. You know what Browser Stack does? Browser Stack is testing in a ton of different browsers if your page or app or what you got is doing a good job. Comprehensive test stacking. It's just a matter when you build the tech product. Someone says, I got a Pixel 7. It doesn't load. And like, who got a Pixel 7? No one got a fucking Pixel 7. How can we test this? Yeah, Browser Stack. It has all the devices, all the screens, all the browsers, everything, all the iPads, whatever. You just see if it's working across devices, platforms, and whatnot. And if you have customers that say, this thing is not working on my Android whatnot thing, then Browser Stack will keep it. Can't negotiate with the developers. They will kill me. Number 11, Webflow. That's where we host our webpage. Webpage hosting, $15,000. That's more than $1,000 per month. I would say that's pricey. On the other hand, Webflow looks nice. You always think like web hosting is $10, right? It's not. It's $1,000. If you have a certain traffic that is coming, if you just Webflow is currently the standard for building web pages. With Framer, which is an AI-based tool that connects also straight to Figma, I think there is something coming up here where Webflow is in trouble to justify these prices. But for the time being, they have good logins with customers. They're trying everything to keep and to expand. But I would say it's more on the pricey side. There must be a way to get this different, to do this differently and cheaper, especially with AI. 10. Link. 4,000 to 18,000. That is crazy. What is fucking Link? Messaging. Huh. I have no clue what it is. But again, the tech tool. Here I would ask my finance person to look into this. Oh, the next one. Number 9, $0 to $19,000. $0 to $19,000. What is it? Security tools. Look, we're spending money on security tools today, but I think this is additional stuff. Yep. For example, one big thing that we're spending money on is the Benta. That's what you use to make sure that you are compliant with SOC, with GDPR, with like whatever. Next one, number 8, Attribute. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. $20,000 soon. It's almost $2,000 a month. What is Attribute? Attribute is with attribution tracking. So let's say you run ads on Meta, then the tracking sucks because it's a business manager, tracking is not good. Then the next thing that you do is you go into first-party data with Hyros, right? So there you can do much better ad tracking that you can actually trust and rely on. And then the next level of that is something like Attribute, where you get really good analytics that is based on not just single touch attribution, but multi-touch attribution. What is that stuff that I'm talking about? Let's not go into detail, but if you are running $1 million ad spend a year, Attribute, I think, is a good investment, especially if it's not high ticket. If you do super high ticket, Hyros is fine. If you do anything south of $1,000, I think Attribute is good. Number 7, I'm getting scared now. 25 grand. What is that? HubSpot. Ha! That's obvious. Same thing. You think like you can start with $10. You can, and all of a sudden you end up paying $2,000 a month. HubSpot is just crazy. They also lock you in with 5-year contracts. They give you this crazy discount in the beginning on your like super big discount on year 5 or like on the first year, and then big discount on the second and third. And all of a sudden at some point you're paying crazy money. You think that's so far in the future. Who cares? But then, yep, HubSpot, $2,000 per month. Solid. What does HubSpot do? I think they call it a customer platform, meaning for marketing and sales, lead pages, book your calls, call bookings, marketing automations, all of that stuff. Number 6, $30,000. Holy crap, that's going to be. Circle. CircleCI.com. Must be a dev tool. Continuous integration. My bad. AI code make you nervous? What? No, it makes me nervous. Any app deployed anywhere at any scale. Yeah, it's continuous integration. What does it mean? If you run tech stuff, you have to put it somewhere on a server. And every time someone does a change, this has to be automated. It's called CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous delivery. It just makes developers' life easier. For that reason, we don't touch it. You can see here, developers are expensive already, but then all the tools on top, 6 figures. Number 5, $34,000. We're still 90% below the top spenders, but like it's going to be very exciting in a second. Number 5, Google. Yeah, That was obvious. That's related to the Zoom thing earlier. It's like, why the fuck are we spending so much on Google Suite where it comes with Google Meet, and then we spend money on Zoom on top. So Google Suite all in. I love the Google Suite. I love the email tools. I love the calendar. I love all the apps. I love Gemini. Like Gemini's not even in there. I love Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Sheets. They're doing such a good job with monetizing, with producing good products, one year after the other. Back in the days, they were just a search engine. Today, they're such a good tool for helping my company to work effectively with each other in the team. It's almost $3,000 a month, but worth the money. Would definitely keep it. Not going anywhere, 100%. Number 4, $40,000. Getting sweaty now. HubSpot? There must be 2 teams using fucking HubSpot. This is something I would ask my finance manager. Why do we have 2 HubSpot things? So that means $65,000 on HubSpot, or as of today, 56. Crazy. Why do we have 2 HubSpot subscriptions? That makes sense. I get these every month. I see for the big transactions, I get these notifications what our cards have been charged, and I see HubSpot charged you $3,000. HubSpot charged you $2,000 within like the same day. Yep, that makes sense. We definitely have 2 HubSpot subscriptions. That's not a mistake. I would ask what's going on there, and if you can migrate it and get a better deal. Like, this needs to be negotiated at that amount of money. Negotiate your software deals. This needs to be negotiated. We cannot, likely it's fine, and we're in a 5-year contract, cannot do shit, but negotiate. Top three, $41,000. Shit, now I'm really excited. Like, what is this? I didn't HubSpot again? This is ridiculous. This cannot die. I mean, my life. What did my finance manager do? They can actually give me like a list with top 25, and 3 out of the 25 is HubSpot. This is ridiculous. Now we had $100,000 for HubSpot, $100,000 for HubSpot, $100,000 for HubSpot a year, $100,000 for HubSpot. This thing needs to be negotiated. You know, maybe I know what happened. We had a contract, fixed seats, fixed terms. Now we have new people coming in and maybe doing not just marketing, but also doing sales, our new contract. Now we're doing this thing, our new contract. 3 contract, $100,000. That we need to talk. Not possible. HubSpot? Really? Okay, this will be checked by finance. Number two, $319,000 spent annually. That is $25,000 per month. It is on AWS. Did you know that Amazon, and that's obviously the story behind AWS is Amazon became really, really big, and they had tons of servers and built this whole thing that automated the whole thing. And they're like, this is so good, other companies should use it. That's what AWS became. They took the market by storm. That's their profit maker. AWS or Amazon has small margins. They were for decades being laughed at as making zero money. And then AWS is making 60 or 70% of their profits. It's $1 billion profit game. People hosting their stuff on AWS. So this is where we host our stuff. I mean, Webflow is just a web page, but then the tech itself is hosted on AWS. With all the files, with the tech behind, everything is like hosted on AWS. That's another tech tool. It's a lot, $300,000. Think about it, like hosting your tech product, more than $250,000. Isn't that crazy? And we can go anywhere. I mean, the other options would be Google Cloud or Azure, which is from Microsoft. So it's Microsoft, Google, or AWS. See, you can see here again why they're so valuable, these companies, because they charge a ton for the service that they're providing. It's high margin, obviously, but they just can charge the money that they can charge. Don't have intentions to go to Microsoft. I would love to go to Google Cloud because I just love Google so much. So that's something where we either need to renegotiate or see what the price of Google would be. But maybe we can save you 50 grand or so. Moving this over, switching costs will be crazy. We will use a quarter minimum, and we don't have time for that. So likely will stay. Which brings us to the number one software spend that we have. I have a guess what this is. This will be also relevant for you. Even if you don't run a tech company or software business, you will have this one as your top spender as well, and you will not guess what it is. But I think I already know what it is. Let's see if I'm right. I'm not going to tell you, but it starts with an S. If it starts with an S, I will be right. Stripe. I knew it. I knew it. $400,000 on Stripe. Yep. See, Stripe is for free, right? You just pay a couple of % commission. Turns out, if you make a ton of revenue, you pay a ton of commission. Here's my number one advice for you for Stripe. Whatever they tell you, 2.9% or whatnot, you can negotiate that. You can go into a contract that you will stay with them for a year or 2, and you can negotiate these rates. If you do so, you have obviously a big lever to reduce your spend on Stripe and to get much more competitive rates, which we have done. So we have very different rates than what you have normally on the pricing page. If you want to have more information on that, I'm not sure if I can disclose that. Likely there's some non-disclosure thing somewhere baked in. For that reason, that's first of all something for another video. And second of all, my point still holds true. Negotiate here. That were the top 25 software tools that we use in 2025 and 2026 that cause more than $100,000 per month in services and software spend, which is more than $1 million per year.